Welcome to the Social Chameleon Show, where it's our goal to help you learn, grow, and transform into the person you want to become. Today, a first for us, a movie review. Big thank you to Michael Hall for reaching out and giving us the privilege and honor to get a pre-release copy of this to watch and review for you folks. The movie is Generation Freedom. It's a ShoHawk product produced by Michael Hall and directed by Chris Sakr. A little overview about the movie. Generation Freedom is a documentary covering the revolution of starting an online business and the possibilities that have been created. It follows 16 people who changed their lives by creating income streams as a full-time business or side business. This documentary is for people who believe they are meant to do something more than sitting behind a desk for their entire life. It's for those who want freedom and flexibility in their lives by generating an income through various revenue streams. By sitting and watching Generation Freedom, you'll be given a blueprint to a life of freedom.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I guess I was kind of taken back too. I was like, oh, we've never really reviewed a movie before in the show, which is kind of cool. We always reviewed books and stuff. So, hey, it's new for us, new for you.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess without further ado, I kind of like the movie. I mean, it has that documentary feel.
Yeah.
I kind of like how it has that little mystery thing of like, you're like, what, you know, where is this going? Like, what, you know, I was like, it's kind of cool. I was like watching it first and I was like, this is actually like, you know, like the typical the typical documentary feel that you get. It's like, it's got a lot of mystery, and then like eventually it kind of comes together, right? And it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. What is it? I guess my notes are a little bit different. I guess I have like passion, attention, test, or what is the actual thing that they have on that you have there from the movie? Passion.
Yes. Yeah, so it's passion, or AKA your superpower. I think Pat Flynn's, that's his words. And then income stream, find your audience, test your idea, begin and grow. That's like, I guess, the plot of the movie, and they go through each of those, which I thought was really cool. And really kind of go into each element from beginning to end of, you know, how to you know, find what you want to do and kind of break away from, if you're looking for that breaking away from your job kind of thing, you're looking for extra income. They go through every single step and they really get into some really good detail. I really enjoyed that about the movie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely like, from A to B kind of planned out kind of thing, which is cool. And a lot of the techniques and a lot of stuff that they point out in that video, like that, it's real and it's relevant, and it's relevant in today's world, which is really good.
Yeah, it was good. I like that. And you know, when I first started watching, I was like, please don't be some like motivational fluff piece. I was like, I really want to, you know, be able to have a good experience with this movie, especially, you know, being our first time and, you know, being asked to do something like this. And I was really surprised. I really was. It was no fluff. It was really, really well done, really well put together, sequenced nicely. It wasn't this motivational piece. Everybody felt like they were really raw and sharing their experiences, sharing their emotions.
I guess it's on there. It had like 16 people, but I mean, it was more than a handful of people. So like you couldn't really like get a fix on it, but it wasn't like so many people. Like, I mean, like there's just been other things that we had. It's like, okay, it's like this documentary is about like 1,500 people. Like you kind of go through each one, and it's like, nah, like it's enough. It's enough that you can actually sit down and relate with some of the people there, and it's not too overwhelming, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. That's the thing I was worried about. I was like, please, like, I don't want to hear about how rich you are, how much money you make, and how you just got it done. And you know, it was none of that. It was really good. I mean, even there was a young kid, I think he was like 18 or something like that. He's been in business since 13.
He was like making socks or something. Like, that's pretty cool, man.
It was super cool.
And like you could tell that he's like, I mean, well, he looks young, right? Like in the video, but like he's got that business mindset, and like, you know, it's like he's got this business and like he's got employees underneath him. I was like, that's like really cool, man.
He really had his stuff together. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I definitely like the different taste of entrepreneurs that they have on there. It's a good mix. Definitely a good mix.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys I recognize and I even follow as well on there. I kind of was part of hooking me. I was like, oh, I like these guys. Like a couple of these guys I saw in the trailer, and I was like, all right, I'll give this a whirl. You know, some guys in here I like.
Yeah, definitely.
I know one of my favorite parts was the guy Pat Flynn was talking. I forget what part they were talking about, but he had this acronym PLAN. So
Yep.
I think it was the research phase or something like that or whatever. But it's really cool. I've never heard the acronym. It's really well thought out or whatever. It's just like, so PLAN. So P, problems, language, anecdotes or the stories, and then need, the solution. So starting there, really identifying a problem, figuring out what's the real problem is, not what you think or maybe not what you want to come up with or what you want to do, but going out and like feeling that problem out, figuring out how these people are talking about it, what's the language you're using and different stuff, finding stories about people that are having those problems, and then giving them the need, giving them the solution. I was like, that is so well put together.
I guess that's like kind of put like in the income stream, and it's like
Maybe
they kind of try to identify like, you know, I like how they talk about like your passion as like superpower, right? Like it's like, what is it that you can do and only you can do like super well? And it's like, I don't know. To me, it was just kind of crazy. It's like your superpower, but like that's true though. It's like we all have innate abilities within us that kind of get out there, reach, and resonate. And then to take that further, right? Like how can you use those abilities to generate income, right? And it's about solving problems. It's about providing products and services that are going to help other people. And I kind of like that too. They kind of set that mindset in there. It's like you got to focus like on the customer or on the end product. It's not so much always about what you want, but like you said, if you can figure out how to solve somebody else's problem, right? Or did they pose that question there too? Is like, how much money would you pay, right, or something like that to get something done? Then you know, like if people will pay for that to be solved, you have potential for income in it. So
that was one thing I like that they talked about. They're like, never mind asking people, would you buy this? Ask them to buy it. And then, you know, if nobody wants to buy it or nobody wants to sign up for, I think they had a webinar as an example. Like if you get nobody to sign up for a webinar, you're off the mark somewhere. Like you got to figure this out.
No, I mean, just add that in there, like for a free webinar, right? Like if you're providing a free webinar, free service, and like nobody's out there, I think that was like in the testing phase.
Maybe it was.
Yeah. And if it's like, if nobody's going to come to something for free, then you may have to tweak something or you may have to change something because chances are they won't pay for it if you get it for free.
Right. And I mean, coming to listen to a possible solution. And that's the thing too, like how they were saying times, like sometimes you aren't identifying the right problem. Like you think this is the problem and you think this is the solution. And then like you go out and you make that. And then all of a sudden crickets. I like how they're like, no, like test this. Like don't waste a lot of time and money. Like I really like that they really they're like, go test this. Like, and a lot of these guys were like accidental things. Like one guy he needed handkerchiefs for his wedding and he had to buy like a pallet full, and then they sold them. And then like a few years later, they're like, you know what, we should try that again. Like, and then they wind up having a really successful business they create out of it. You know, and the one kid with the socks, same thing. He was like, I see these people at school, they all wear the same exact socks. Like there's gotta be something cooler out there.
Yeah, and then he's like, he could like pick them out there and get out there. And like, that's just the thing about this video is like, you know, it's like even that girl that like sells rugs, like it's like you would think like, you know, and that's the other thing too is like they're not out there to do like these big businesses or you know, these big things. I guess ever since I was a kid when I started, I always thought about being an entrepreneur as like owning this freaking huge company like Apple or Google that's gonna make like millions and millions and billions of dollars. But like this movie kind of like, I guess, takes a step back from that. Like you were mentioning earlier, it's not like these big pieces with all this fluff. Like these are actual like legitimate people like you and I that just they get out there and they work their online internet business, and they don't make millions of dollars a year, but you know, they get by, right? And it's generation freedom, right? They have the freedom to do what they want, to create a lifestyle, to live how they want to live. Like it's just some really good stuff, man. Really good.
That was a part that was really, really good to me. Like I think a lot of times that I see a lot is like this romanticized idea of being an entrepreneur and being rich and having this big mansion. And that's just such a small percentage of people versus the people that were featured in this documentary. It's like, it's more like having a job. Maybe, though, I think the one guy said he makes a little less money, but he works from home and he's got all this extra freedom. He's able to be more creative. he doesn't have, you know, and he's telling a story about he was in a meeting with a customer and they were just belligerent, you know, being belligerent or whatever it was, or bad mouthing him or something along those lines. And he's like, I can't do nothing about this. I can't say nothing to this person.
Yeah.
Versus now he's like, I don't need you as a client.
Yep, exactly.
He's like, I make a little less money now, but guess what? I don't have to deal with that person no more. I don't have to do those type of people because I choose who's going to be my customers. I get to choose that stuff. And that's the things I really liked about the movie. You know, like the lady, like you said, the carpet and the other, you know, there's a couple other people. It's like, you could see where they were. It seemed like they were in their home. And it's not this big lavish home. Like the one lady with the carpet, she has this nice little apartment, but she's free to do whatever she wants. She goes to swap meets and stuff and she finds rugs. And that's what she likes. She liked doing anyway. And then she figured out she could make money, and she makes enough money to just do that for her life. Like that was the coolest thing. It's not that she's rich, you know, maybe she doesn't even make $100,000, but she makes enough that she's got a great life and freedom to go and do things and go places. That was the stuff I really liked about it.
Yeah. And it's just, you know, it's kind of like I guess they call it a micro business or whatever, right? Like, it's just like, I guess it's not a new concept to me, I guess, but from, you know, like you said, either the hype of everything, like people want to have like all these big businesses and like make like a ton of money. You know, that kind of seems, I guess, like out of reach for most people.
Right.
And the thing that I think a lot of people will be able to relate this movie is like, look, they just have these small little micro businesses. Like this is something that's attainable. This is something that anyone can do. It's not going to be this thing that, you know, we're going to make this huge money making machine. Like most people don't have, I guess, the mindset and or the skills to create multi-million-dollar businesses. But in this movie, like there's a lot of good examples of everyday person, and with the skills that they have, they can do some of this stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah. And I like too that they were raw and they were sharing the hardships, the years and years of I made nothing, I sucked, nobody liked me, nobody followed me, nobody cared.
Right.
Like, that was refreshing to hear. You never hear those failures, you never hear those stories of all this stuff. It's always, you know, like with most things we see nowadays and we hear, it's just a highlight reel. And these guys are being emotional, and you can see there's a few of them, I felt like they were ready to cry. Maybe even, I think the one lady was crying.
Maybe that was
so awesome to hear that.
Genuine. Yeah, it's like, and the way they talk about like the feedback too, right? It's like, you know, people have that little small man syndrome on the internet. You know, it's just like people start trashing them on whatever platform they're on, whether it be Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and you get those bad comments. And like, you know, that one lady was talking about like, you know, sometimes you just gotta turn it off and walk away. You know, just know that the internet is a place where everybody can share, and that means that even the not so nice people are gonna start sharing too. And it's like, yeah, dude, it's really real, it's really raw. I do like that aspect of the movie as well. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, definitely. I like too, they talked about so many like very precise and concise like steps, like in each of those categories of planning and, you know, income and all these different, they had very like precise, like do these things, like set this goal, do these things, like get these things done. Like I know one guy, the former football player, he's like, you ain't got time, that's bullshit. I was like, yes, like, why didn't you get up an hour earlier? I was like, that's what's up. Like, I was like, hell yeah. Like,
right. If you found if it were important to you, would find a way to get out there and make that happen. And I guess I kind of like that too about this movie, is like, there's something about it when you get up every morning and do it. Like they don't sit there and get the short win, right? That guy, the music guy, he's like, yeah, it's nice to get a short win every now and then, but his life isn't always about the short wins. Like, so you got to be able to get up and do this, whether the money comes in or whether it doesn't. Like, if you don't get the short win, you have to be able to keep moving. And that's the other thing too that I like about the movie, is like, you got to have that drive. It's not all sunshine and rainbows and like this money's gonna come out of nowhere and like, we're gonna be rich. Like, it's like, no, you put forth the energy and the time. It doesn't have to be something huge, right? You know, it doesn't have to be this big macro business that's going on. This can be a micro business, but it's going to be work. You know, it's not like you can just turn it off, right? Like that's the entrepreneur, right? Like, oh, I'm just going to be the middleman. I'm not going to do any work. I'm going to make money. Like those things are not real. Like if you want to do this, you got to work at it. Like it's a real job. And with that, you got to show up every day and, you know, you got to put the work in, and whether you get that short win or not, like you got to keep going. Like I thought that was pretty real. And I think that sits home with me anyway.
Yeah. That reminds me of my, like, probably one of my favorite quotes from the movie. The graphic artist, Aaron, he said, "You may never be famous, you may never be rich, but who gives a shit? You're doing it." I'm like, that's it right there. Like, that is so perfect. Like, you're just doing it. Like, you're not stuck. You're not feeling bottled up or whatever it is, you know, no, I can't advance or whatever it is that you're, you know, your current job or whatever it is you're doing. Like, who gives a shit? Like, it's not about making that money. It's not about becoming famous. Like, most of these guys, I want to say on average, they have about 50, 60,000 followers on their different social things. Yeah. They're not these million plus accounts. Like my daughter, I don't know if it's her at her school or a friend of her school. One girl in her school is like 1.5 million followers on Instagram. You know, it's like, these aren't those necessarily type of people. Like, you know, that, and I just love that quote. Just, you know, you're not going to be famous. You may not be famous. You may not be rich, but who gives a shit? Like, just doing what you want to be doing. That's the stuff I liked about this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, I mean, that to me, that kind of sits home with it and takes it from there. But don't get me wrong though. Like you know, if you do follow the steps, you know, and again, I'm not trying to sell that you could get this million money. There are a lot of people that do make quick, short, fast cash money. Yeah. This movie's not about that, but at the same time, you know, it does happen, I guess per se. But, you know, just again, it's about taking it home. It's about doing it. Like a lot of these people, like you can tell, like this is a passion. This is their heart. This is what they enjoy doing. And rather than getting out there and making somebody else rich off of what they enjoy doing, like they take it to themselves and they get by. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. You know, one of my other things I really liked about this movie, it's so educational in like this subtle way. Like they had all these definitions popping up, like all these terms, and then somebody would say a term, and then boom, they hit the definition. Like
yeah, they got a lot of I guess not necessarily new definitions, but I like that thing in there about like the passive income. Again, like, you know, you take traditionally, right? Passive income is stuff that comes from either real estate investments or stocks, but like that one entrepreneur lady in there, she's like, you know, I kind of want to add to the fact that passive income is money that's not related to time. Like I was like, ooh, I was like, that's a clean idea. Like, yeah, that's really good. Like, because everybody has this traditional sense, right? Like, time is money. Like, I work for X amount of dollars an hour. Right. When in actuality, you know, for this, you know, freedom lifestyle that you want to have, like, you're trying to break away from that. You're separating the fact that you don't have to. I mean, you do have to do work. Don't get me wrong. Right. Again, that's the thing that I like about this movie too, is like you got to do the work, but it's not if I go to work for 8 hours a day, then X is going to be that kind of thing. Like, you know, it's just like money will come in eventually, but it's not necessarily related to how much energy or how much time you spend on any one particular thing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that was the one story they had. I think it was Pat Flynn. He had made a ebook for the architects, and then he said, you know, was it the first day or week or something along those lines, a month or whatever, he had sold like $8,000 worth of those books. Yeah. That's more than 3 months of my income. Like maybe he spent 6 months working on a book, that's to say, and within a very short amount of time, he's already made 3 months worth of income. Yeah. And he's done already. He's hands off at this point. So from that point on, that's just, you know, profit. Every morning he wakes up, he's like, I sold another 10 books. I sold another 10, whatever. That's that passive income that you spend a lot of time and a lot of hard work and that initial upfront investment of time, knowledge, whatever it is you're doing. You put this thing together and then you let it go out in the world. And it's like, you just start getting checks. You know, I don't want to make it seem so nonchalant like that. But that's basically it. You spend a lot of upfront time, a lot of upfront effort, and then you create that passive income stream.
Yeah. But I mean, even like the guys that talk about, like that one guy, he's like, you know, I always try to stay like 40 episodes ahead of like my
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, I was like, yeah, that's like a pretty legit idea. And he's like, and that way, if I need to take a break or I need to, you know, shut things down for a day, like I know I have like a 30-day buffer where, you know, my episodes are going to continue to upload and continue to do what they need to do, you know, while he's away. And like, you know, that's the, you know, again, that to me, that's like the new idea of passive income is like it's continuing to do things for you, but yet you don't have to be there, say, every day to make that happen, which is kind of cool. And that's a lot of things they talk about too in this movie too, is like technology. Like we've come so far in advancements in technology. Like they talk about doing the virtual assistant, you know what I mean? You can't do it, or you can't hire somebody locally, like get out there, get a virtual assistant to like do things, right? They talk about like, that's the other thing too, right? Chris Sakr's like, don't double down on your weakness. He's like, that's like, he's like, you know, get somebody else to do the things you suck at. Like that's like, that's an important key part there. Like I like kind of, you know,
what do you call it? The superpreneur or something like that? Or
oh yeah, like the superhero or whatever, where like he thought he had to do everything.
Yeah.
Out there, you know, but like that's, I mean, in the beginning, when you don't have money,
right?
You kind of agree with that statement. Like you kind of do need to save money by doing everything yourself. But when you get to the point where you're starting to make a little bit of money, like, you know, get out there and do the things that you're good at, because that's what's gonna make you money, right? Like the pro athlete guy or whatever. He's like, you don't see Beyonce like setting up her stage life or like that kind of stuff. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. I was like, that's true, right? Like you see her get on stage and freaking shine and do all this awesomeness while she has a team of people in the background to, you know, sell the tickets, get the marketing, and do all of that for her. Like she just does what she's good at. Like, you know, those are like a lot of good tips and tricks like that you learn from watching this movie. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
I did also like how they really, and they went through the thing where like, yeah, I did it all. And then I was like, I can't do any more. But now I know how to do these things. I can hire somebody, I can train them. I was like, oh, that's good information for people to hear. So many people have that mindset of, if I want it done right, I have to do it myself, or, you know, that type of mind frame like that. And it's like, if you can take some things off your plate, you can do what you do very, very well. I love how they really hammered that home in the movie.
Yeah,
hiring and all of that. And I think Chris Sakr, he had this whole like thing he went through, like pretty deep down, like shit I suck at, shit I don't want to do, shit I don't like to do. Like he's like, and I'm just hiring everything for everybody like that. I was like, oh, you went down deep on that one. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you know, but that's just the part of like, again, when you have the drive to show up and you know, not make money, and you know, you're gonna start stumbling and fumbling at first, but eventually, because you have that drive pushing you forward, like you're gonna figure things out, and you're gonna figure out, you know, I'm not the best at that. Maybe, you know, how can I do things differently, or maybe there's a different approach. Like, yeah, man, there's a lot of positiveness, a lot of good things come out of this movie for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think it makes things easier if you just watch this and you just went step 1, step 2, so you could really accelerate your learning, accelerate your mistakes and stuff like that. You know, eliminate a lot of these things is really set out so well. I think just about anybody, if not anybody, can just go and just watch that step 1 segment and then just go do it. Come back, watch step 2 segment and go do it.
Yeah, I mean, again, you kind of run into the same thing, like on the Gary Vee thing, like what's my passion and how does that work? Like, if you don't have a passion for much, and not saying that, you know, not talking bad about anybody in this video, but a lot of people don't necessarily know what their passion is. And, you know, I think if there were some improvement on that, you know, maybe you can kind of find out. But that's for everybody to find. For sure, that's for everybody to find. But once you get that initial push and once you get that initial drive, definitely the things they talk about in this video, in this movie are great. I like how they focus on, like, when you first get started, start with one platform and
Yeah.
start with one piece of content. Like, that is so key
Mm-hmm.
to happening things and making it happen. It's like, you can't just get out there and just be like, there's so many out there, right? And like, even on the platforms they talked about, they're all relevant today, right? Like
Yes.
Pinterest, Etsy,
Mm-hmm.
eBay, IG, Facebook, Twitter. That one guy who's produces and puts stuff up on Spotify. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, these are all like legitimate things. Like, if you try to get out there and do all of them at the same time, maybe not the best thing to do. Like,
Yeah, you're not gonna do any of them well.
yeah, like, get out there, pick one platform, start with one piece of content, and just kind of work at it. You just kind of follow what it is, and then you'll get better. You'll get better, and then from there you
Yep.
can spread out and get out there. I thought it was interesting too that one guy, like, he makes money off emails. I was like, oh, I was like, that's kind of old school technology nowadays, emails, but
It is, but
it makes money. It was like,
it does.
yeah,
It does. It's funny because people are like, oh, it's going away. Oh, email's old. But that's still, in my opinion, one of the best ways to really just pound through the noise and get to people.
yeah.
It's so hard to, so it's so easy to see 4, 5, 6-day-old posts on Instagram or Facebook. And it's like, this is over. This event is past. The sale is over with already. And I'm only seeing the thing now, 2 days late. So I still think that's still one of the things, and not to discount. And they were talking about, going through their different things. And I like how they laid it out for people, the different sequences they have and how they go through things.
Like that one girl that does like the carpet things. Like, she goes like from start to finish. She's like, this is what I do. I do this step, then I do that step, then I do this. But like, yeah, you're right. A lot of them kind of get out there and maybe not give the whole secrets of their business away, but they kind of give their agenda. And like, I think for a lot of people out there, if you're getting started, like, just listen to what they're doing, and like, maybe try to adapt and adopt some of the principles they have. And like, and getting back to that carpenter, she's like, and this is like, so from start to finish, I spend about an hour or so getting this thing listed and put up and done and all of that. I was like, dang, that's legit. Like, these people know their businesses. They know like how long things are going to take. They know what the next step is. And like, that's like so important to know in a business. Yet when you first start out, I don't think you ever know any of that. You know what I mean? Like for our show, it's like, you got to get out there, you got to do this, you got to put everything out on the podcast. Like, you got to take some time to figure it out. But once you get it, like, it kind of just becomes clockwork.
Yeah, I know in the beginning, I used to spend pretty much all day, maybe even a day and a half, just getting one episode out. Now in 2 hours, like start to finish, it's done, completely done.
Yep. That's good. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was wondering, is there any other things you like? That's about it for like things I really liked about the movie.
Yeah. Well, I kind of like how they talked about like their audience, and their content per se. A lot of it nowadays is personal. I mean, they talk about personal brand and stuff, but I think more importantly, it's about what makes you different. Yeah. Because there's so many people out there. There's so many things, and they talk about being aware in a competitive space. Like, know who your competitors are, know what they're doing, and most importantly, know what makes you different. Right? Like, some people in there, like, they email marketing is what they do. That's how they do it. Yeah. That one girl in there, she actually writes handwritten notes.
Yeah.
To people and sends them out. Some of them, they talk about getting a website. That's the other thing I like about it too. Like, hey, look, man, to do a website, this is how you do it. Like, you get A, B, C. I was like, dude, that's on point. Like, that's legitimately, that is exactly how you do it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it was nice. Like, I was like, listen, $500, like, from like idea to website to legally finding entity, you're set. And I was like, wow, that's like a lot of these people that teach us and stuff, they don't tell, like, there's a lot of things in here, like, you gotta be like paid to get into some kind of course.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it's like, oh, pay for, it's like, oh, you want to know how to do that? Like, take a course. Like, no.
Yeah. They give it all.
You watch this movie, it'll take you straight to finish, and they give you a lot of stuff. And again, the platforms that they talk about, the content that they talk about, the things that they talk about are very relevant in space. And if it's all relevant. And they talk about even that new stuff, like being an IG influencer, using affiliate marketing. Like, that's all like real world stuff that's right here, right now, that people are using. Really good.
And if anything, the concepts, the ideas, those are evergreen. The platforms are going to change, the environment's going to change, but the ideas they have, the core knowledge.
I also got to be conscious of time. Like, if somebody's watching this YouTube video like 20 years from now, but today, when we're posting this video right now, the stuff that they're talking about is relevant and does work in today's world, which is really cool. Yeah.
But learn those core concepts. That'll take you on for the rest of your life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. And overall, great movie. Yeah. Definitely get out there. Definitely check it out. If you're in that, entrepreneurship and you want, or like you said, if you're tired of working your 9 to 5, or maybe for those of you out there, like if you're watching this and you're at work like this on your phone, I see them all the time.
Right. Headphones in.
Every workplace I go to, just, that person like who's behind the desk, just like watching this. And then when you walk up to the desk, you're like, oh, hi, welcome to how can I help you? Like, if you're that person, watch this movie.
Yeah.
Get that drive. Get out there, because if you're obviously out there not paying attention to your job, or it's just something that you just show up for, or maybe people who are stuck in that trap where your job, I've been in those jobs before. That job that pays you just enough money so that you get by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. And you get complacent, like, this is okay. I can hang out for a bit here.
It's like, yeah, I can hang out here for a bit. And that bit turns into 1 year.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Or 10 years.
Right.
Have the bid, however long you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're not stuck at the job.
Right.
You can leave at any time, yet somehow 10 years later, you're still there. You're still on your phone, like watching Instagram, looking, or playing Clash of Clans, or whatever it is you're doing at work. Maybe this movie is for you, because this will tell you that, hey, there's something else. There's something better out there for your life, that you can have the freedom to do what you want instead of having to show up to work every day and be on your phone, or not be at work, right? You show up, not be at work, and get paid. You should watch this movie.
Yeah. I was even on, let's say you like your job, but you're just not making enough. Starting one of these little micro businesses. I like that word. That's a nice thing, that word. Let's start a little micro business or a little side hustle.
Passive income.
Right. And maybe you love your job and you're like, I want to stay here, but right now I'm only making $36,000 a year, and I really could use a little extra. I got student loans or something, or I want to put a little extra away for retirement or savings or whatever. Like, this movie's for you too. Like, you start that little micro business, a little side hustle, start learning these things. These guys, like this lady goes flea market shopping for rugs. You could do that, like, on the weekend or whatever. Go up, pick up a thing or two, post 1 or 2 things, extra $50, $100 a week.
It's like that one kid in high school, or the one kid in school, man, starts to all his friends. Like, start an online business. It's crazy. Good stuff.
Yeah. And then also on their page, I'll link it down below. It's genfreedom.com. They have a 4 video bonus that they're giving away for free. So if right now the $20 is a bit much for you, at least get that 4 video free bonus. I watched the first one. I very, very impressed with it's just more teaching. It's just, they're just more giving and more teaching. So the 4 videos are the fastest way to upgrade your life, your free success plan, your hack to start fast, and your life on your terms. And their objective is they want to help you step by step to identify an opportunity and test it and start trying without wasting time and money. Unbelievable. Like, these guys did such a good job. I'm so impressed. I'm really, I'm glad it's a really good project that we could really get behind. And it's just, they just want to give, and they want to get rid of some of these stigmatisms and these different things and these roadblocks. And even if you don't pay for the movie, those 4 videos for free that they put out, that's a really good little catalyst for you as well.
Yep, definitely, for sure.
And I like to, this is not sponsored and we're not being paid to say this. Like they gave us a movie and said, hey, go at it, guys. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. All right.
Any other key points or anything you want to talk about without giving too much more of the movie away?
I know, right? Yeah. It's so hard to do like a movie review because book, like, you know, we can talk for days and it's still not going to cover everything in the book. But, yeah, we don't want to give too much more of the movie away, but ironically, I think we do want to give the movie away. Yeah.
I do want to give the movie away. Yeah. So for February, I enjoyed this movie so much. I enjoyed the plan. We really enjoyed it. The layout, the different things, the objective they're going after. We're going to give away 5 copies of this movie. So 5 people will win the access to this movie. That's our gift to you. Like I said, this is not sponsored or paid in any way. This is from us to you. Really enjoyed it. Looking for something for February. And I was like, hey, what better than this opportunity for $20 a person? I think this can change your life if you're looking to do one of the 2 kind of scenarios we laid out for you. Yeah. So head over to thesocialchameleon.show/pick-me. Enter in to be one of 5 lucky winners to win this movie.
Nice.
And then I'll link to the movie and everything for you folks at the show notes at thesocialchameleon.show /gen-freedom. There's going to be the link for this episode. Just head over there or head over to thesocialchameleon.show and you'll have the link to get to this. All the different show notes and other resources I can come up with for you guys as well. And then this week's challenge, go watch this movie if you're not satisfied with your life or you're looking for freedom from your job, looking to start a micro business or a side hustle. Listen, a few extra $100 a month can be a huge difference in most people's lives. A little extra money for emergencies, a little extra for savings, maybe for retirement or vacation. Follow the steps outlined in this movie and find something you like or want to do and start. That's their message and that's our message all the time. Just start. Start testing things, start trying things. The most important thing is just start doing.
Yeah. And that just takes us to our final thoughts as well. You know, this movie resonates with me a lot and reminds me of a lot of what we do on this show. No, we're not here to be famous. We're not here to make a lot of money. We're not here for a short win, right? We're just following our intuition and just doing the things that we want to do, whether money comes or not. You know, we keep going at it, getting better, and eventually we believe that things are going to happen. Yeah. It's not every day that you can find your passion, but when you do, you know what it is. Yeah. When you can find that thing that you're going to do when no one's looking, or when you don't feel good about life, you know, that's that thing. And you got to find a way to make that happen. Follow that drive. Stop being complacent. Stop being mediocre and start following your life's purpose. That's the final thoughts for today.
Absolutely. And if you know somebody like that and you enjoyed this, share this with them. Share the love, share the knowledge, share the wealth. The best way you can support the show is by liking, by sharing, and leaving a review. In between shows, you guys can connect with us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those great places, as well as you can subscribe and watch this on YouTube and on your favorite podcast app. For this and all past episodes, you guys can head over to thesocialchameleon.show. And until next time, keep learning, growing, and transforming into the person you want to become.